Good morning. It's July 6th, 2020. Steve Shaketans here coming to you from wonderful Casper, Wyoming. I wanted to talk to you today about uh, you are what you think. So, that's a I've heard that a lot of people that write about success and stuff like that, they all say that they all agree. They None of them can agree on anything about success, but all of them agree that you become what you think about. So, um, what I want you to do is just think about this. Just do some meditations on what are you thinking about. I mean, what is on your mind? I mean, you do become what you think about. I heard that some statistics about business people that start their own businesses. There's only something like less than 5% of businesses that are still around 30 years after they start them. So if you've got a business, I personally have a business that I've had the same business now for over 30 years. So I'm part of the really small percentage of businesses that are still going. Um, and I a lot of that's just because I kept my mind on what I wanted and off what I don't want. So a lot of times we as people we keep our minds on what we don't want. We constantly say, well, I don't want to get sick, and then we think about that, and then what happens usually? We get sick. We usually get sick. So when you start thinking about what you do want, and then keep your mind on that, it takes some discipline. It's not the easiest thing to do because the mind seems to wander. The mind's kind of like a garden, and if you don't tend to it, if you don't go out and pull the weeds and work at it, it just tends to grow weeds. Weeds are like that deal where I don't want to get sick. Oh boy, I hope I can pay my bills. I don't know if I can't, I don't think I can make it through this hard times that I'm going through. And we all, right now we're in the pandemic. It's been going on for over 3 months. It's really been tough on a lot of people. But you can use this time. Have you thrown out what, I, times there's tough times. Things are just, life's going to be like that. We're going to go through some hard times financially, spiritually, and relationships. We're just going to have those hard times. And I think the key to getting through it and being successful and keeping, what are you really wanting in this life? Most people say, well, I just want to be happy. Well, happiness comes from within. And it also comes from habits. What are your habits? What are you doing with yourself? Um, One of the things I did about 7 months ago is I made a decision. I looked at, sometimes you got to be truthful with yourself and look on the inside. I looked at myself and I said, it's really important that I work out. I want to keep my body in good shape. And I know that as I get older, I want to be able to still do things. I want to be able to do things, and I want to be in good shape. And so I decided that I looked at myself and I saw a pattern where I'd say, okay, I'm going to work out, and I'd start working out, and I'd say, I'm going to work out, every other day, or I'm going to work out 4 or 5 days a week, whatever it was. And it never. I look back, and it was like I do it for a while, maybe a month or two, and then I'd skip a day, and I'd say to myself, well, I skipped that day, and then maybe subconsciously it'd be like, well, you loser, on the inside, and then I'd skip another day, and then pretty soon I'm not doing it. A lot of you know what I'm talking about here. You buy an exercise bike, you use it for a week or two, and then now it's just to hang clothes on, So it's the same thing. So I made a decision about 7 months ago. I decided that if I don't do it every day, I don't skip brushing my teeth. I don't skip taking a shower every day. I do that every day. Most people eat every day. I believe in fasting, so there's not every day that I eat, but most days I eat. And I decided that's what I'm going to do with working out. I thought, you know what? I don't need to not. I can work out 7 days a week. I mean, well, we get out of bed 7 days a week. I mean, some people never get out of bed, I guess, if you get really depressed. But you know, most of us get up every day, and so I made a decision about 7 or 8 months ago that I am going to work out every day, and I made myself kind of a big goal, 1,000 push-ups every day. Um, this was 7 or 8 months ago that I made this goal, 1,000 push-ups every day, and uh, 50, at least 1,000 crunches, leg lifts, you know, core exercise every day. And then you know, a lot of you, and the first thing that came to my mind was probably come to your mind, I don't have time for that. And so I looked at my habits, and it's like, you know what, I can get up earlier, I don't need this much sleep, and if I do, I'll just go to bed earlier. So again, I just got up an hour earlier. It only takes an hour, believe it or not. If you just make your mind up to do it, it's a powerful thing. So anyway, so about 2 months went by, and you know, I got to the 1,000. This morning I counted it up. I was like, I think my numbers are off a little bit. I've been actually for the last, no, about a month, I've been doing about 1,500 push-ups every day. I actually added some, and I sat there and I counted up what I was doing, because I do sets of 150, and it was like, holy crap, I'm actually doing 1,500, not 1,000. And then my crunches and leg lifts, you know, those core exercises, I'm probably doing close to 2,000 of those. One set I do 800. So again, and I can still do this in under an hour, including, and that includes riding. I warm up riding my exercise bike for about 10 minutes, and then I have a rowing machine that I row for 5 or 6 minutes. So it's actually about a half an hour. I don't take breaks really. I just go right through it. And you know, you might say, "Oh, I couldn't do that," but you can if you make your mind up. The mind is so powerful. If you make your mind up to do something, just again, like we started in the beginning, you become what you think about. You write it down. You just make a decision to do it, and then just you know, there was a lady that made a video, and she called it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She one night she was kind of tipsy a little bit, drinking wine, and she saw this rocket taking off, and they were doing the countdown: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And to make a long story short, she made a whole speech and video, or actually she made a business out of. Her idea is that her problem was that she wouldn't get up in the morning, and the alarm would go off several times. She'd hit snooze, and the next morning she thought of this rocket taking off, and she just said to herself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she just got up and started doing it, and she started doing that in all areas of her life, and her whole life changed for the better. And so just do that in the morning: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get right up and get going. Don't think. Start. You know, for me, I get up. I like to have a little coffee. I make my coffee, and then usually I'll get right on my rowing machine and start rowing. And yeah, you know, there's mornings where it's like everything's kind of hurting and stuff, but once I get going, after a minute or so, I'm just going. And so then I get on my exercise bike. You know, that's kind of I don't have to think much. I just time myself. There's a clock on the exercise equipment, and it just, once I get 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever I'm going for, I'm done. And then I start right on my push. I don't, you know, it's like, if I start to hesitate, I just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go, and get down and start doing those push-ups. And my mind still says, "Oh, you can't do this. You're too," you know, it comes up with all kinds of excuses. You're too old. I feel like sometimes there's two people living inside of me. One of them that's the negative person, the negative Steve, that says, you know, you can't do this. You can't do this. There's no way. And then there's the positive. There's the other one that's the more determined Steve that says, no, you shut up. You know, it's like I'm talking to myself. Shut up, and you can do it. And a lot of times it's just, don't think, just get down and do it. And once I get going on it, the goal kicks in. Okay, I got to do 150 push-ups, and I just do it. And then I really enjoy doing the crunches and the leg lifts and that stuff. I just like doing it. And maybe that's probably just a mindset. It's just what I think about. And I'm still working on that with my push-ups. But once I get down there and do it, then it just comes so easy. And a lot of times I'll think, when I'm doing the push-ups, I'll think I just got to do a few more, and then I get to do my crunches, you know, or something like that. So I kind of try to make it fun and enjoyable. And I also, you know, look at what you're thinking about. What are your are you enjoying each moment? I mean, or do you look at it as such a grind? You know, is when you go to work, does are you actually like in the moment? Are you enjoying each part of it, or do you tell your or are you thinking, you know, I just can't wait to get through this day so I can go home and watch TV or have my weekend or whatever it is. You know, that's no way to live. That's not, to me, that's not a happy life. Enjoy each moment, no matter where you're at. Now, obviously, you know, yesterday I had a little bit of a time because I was in the sun too much, and I just got tired. I was hungry. You know, there's this thing called HALT, and don't let yourself get um, too hungry, too angry, too lonely, or too tired. So HULT, a halt, HALT, halt. Anyway, don't let yourself go to those areas, and remember some of that stuff so that you don't end up burning yourself out. So anyway, you are what you think about, and you know that's such a simple thing, but it's something you can meditate on. You know, you know, look at what you're thinking about, because you are going to become what you think about, and if you, no matter what you think about, you're going to make that a reality. So if you're thinking that if you're thinking that somebody's going to be upset with you, it's amazing how somebody will be upset with you. If you just, whatever you think about will become a reality. So I want to encourage you today to go ahead and think about this. Give yourself a break. Let yourself enjoy each moment of the day. No matter, you know, make it a game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just enjoy your life. You know, you only have this one. I mean, if you're up, you know, a lot of people just didn't wake up today, so be grateful for things. You know, think about what you're grateful for. You become what you think about. When you are coming from an area of being grateful, it just it'll just build on itself. So be grateful. Let yourself be happy. Enjoy each moment, and remember that you become what you think about. So I hope this message rings true with you like it does for me, and have a great day, and we'll see you the next time.